Have you ever been to an art gallery? It's not something I make a habit of doing, but occasionally, generally on holiday, I've been and I've enjoyed it. Standing in front of some big painting and suddenly something catches my eye. A tiny detail that brings the whole thing to life. A mischievous grin on the face of someone in a crowd, an animal peeking in the corner of the frame. Taking time to revel in the details lets you see things in a fuller way. And maybe the same is true of this great big, greatest story ever told, especially if we're really familiar with it. Stopping to revel in the detail can help us grasp at a deeper level what's going on. Today, I'd love to bring you with me into one moment. Let me read to you from Luke chapter 2, verses 8 to 10. That night, there were shepherds staying in the fields nearby, guarding their flocks of sheep. Suddenly, an angel of the Lord appeared among them, and the radiance of the Lord's glory surrounded them. They were terrified, but the angel reassured them. "Don't be afraid," he said. "I bring you good news of great joy for all people." You see, when I was thinking where to focus, I found myself with the shepherds. Maybe we've heard of them before. Outsiders in more ways than one. Shady characters, often blamed for letting their flocks trespass on another's land. Dirty, rough, not someone you'd trust. It suggested they weren't even allowed to testify as witnesses in Jewish courts. And to these unsuspecting outsiders on the night shift, the God of all chooses to send his angels, shine his glory, speak his good news. No wonder they were terrified. This good news of great joy is for all people. Can you hear the shepherds wonder? All people, even us. Do the angels really mean it? Just wait till the rabbi hears. God's new promise is turning the world on its head. His undeserved grace calls out to all to come and see. One of the great joys of my time in our church family has been getting to be involved with Conversation Cafe. To see our church, because what's a church but God's people, open their hearts and the doors of our building to those who find themselves outsiders, not because of their occupation, but their change in location. To those who can be misunderstood. To those without the privilege of a secure place in our society. And to see those who volunteer share the reality of the good news of great joy being for all people as they serve and love because God first loved us. And that was where my thoughts went as I reflected on these verses until last Thursday. As I often do, I'd been talking over what I planned to say as I drove to work, rewording sentences in my head. And then the wheels come off. Well, not off. Well, let me explain. I was driving into work on an access road in Antrim Hospital grounds, and as I crossed a speed bump round a blindish bend, I heard that kind of car noise you never want to hear. Clunky, grindy, metal and tarmac, which it turns out was my rear subframe breaking in two. Anyway, what it was doesn't matter. Aside to say, it meant an hour and a half waiting for a recovery truck. Most of which, by virtue of that blindish bend, involved standing beside my car, directing traffic like an old-fashioned policeman. As I stood, the words were still repeating in my head. Good news of great joy for all people. Good news of great joy for all people. And with nothing to do but watch my colleagues coming and going, the sentence morphed. Good news of great joy for that person. Good news of great joy for that person. And as simple as it sounds, revelling in that detail let me see it afresh in a fuller way. I was reminded of the need to hold both thoughts. This good news of great joy needs to go all the way out to people in the fringes. But it's not only there it needs heard, it's for all people. And that includes those who seem on the surface to have it all together. And this good news of great joy for all people, well, it's not a scheme or a plan. It's not a to-do list. Haven't we all had enough of those at this time of year? It's a person. Luke goes on to tell us the Saviour, yes, the Messiah, the Lord has been born today. Jesus chose to be incarnated, to become Emmanuel, God with us, to become the good news of great joy. He made himself vulnerable in his birth and death. He set aside his privilege for us. I know him, I love him, because he first loved me and chose to come and be my good news, my Saviour. I'm one of those who was once on the outside, but was forgiven and welcomed into his family, his kingdom. And most days at some point, I'm with people who don't know him yet, who don't know that he loves them. And so this good news of great joy for all people is both an encouragement and also a challenge. we're surrounded by people who don't yet know that goodness, that joy. So I'm praying that this Christmas time, God gives me and you not only opportunities to share them, but especially the inclination and the courage to do so. To live like we truly believe that it is good news, it brings great joy, and it's for all people.